Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports podcast with me, Lichia. Wow, the first week of the playoffs have been absolutely amazing, and I am so glad that there is now results that I can talk about in terms of the NBA playoffs. So, first of all, we're going to get started with the Bucks sweeping the Heat. The Heat are a shell of their former selves, and I think the Bucks are going to be hard to beat going forward. I think Giannis may or may not have overcome his lack of being able to get past the first and second round. I think he's got Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton. It's incredible just seeing how Giannis has just become so much better in the past year. It's truly remarkable, and I think he was such a sleeper for MVP that it's hard to put it past them. But yeah, I'm proud of the Bucks, and I love Giannis. Giannis is a dude that's from Greece. To make it from Greece in the US is incredible, and I'm so super proud of him. Super proud. Proud Mama Bear, even though he's not my kid, but I'm still proud. So the Knicks are down 3-1 in the first round against the Hawks. This series has been fun, competitive, and incredibly just chippy, and I love it. And Madison Square Garden now has a new villain, has their new Reggie Miller in Trae Young, and I think Trae loves it. I genuinely do. I think Trae relishes in being a heel, and that's something that a lot of players don't often relish, is being the hated one. But I reckon he does. I reckon he loves it. He loves being a heel, and that's just what it is. The Brooklyn Nets are 3-1 up on the Boston Celtics, and this series has been very lopsided. The Celtics have had one good game, and that's because I think Kyrie was a little bit shell-shocked about being back in the TD Garden for the first time since he left Boston. And as many people know, Boston fans are very, 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 let's just say, enthusiastic about their team. A lot of the Northwest is, and especially this time round because they're finally allowed out of the house, and I'll touch on that later. The 76ers are 3-zip up on the Wizards. I am super happy for this because I love the 76ers. If any team was my East team, it would be the 76ers. I think it might be because of Ben Simmons and my affection for him, as he is an Australian, and I love the fact that an Australian is up for Defensive Player of the Year. I love it. So yeah, I'm super happy for it. Super happy for them, and I'm looking forward to them sweeping. It should be fun. By the time I wake up, they should have already swept. So that will be fun to wake up to. Also, a big congratulations to Jordan Clarkson for winning Sixth Man, and also Julius Randle for winning Most Improved. So yes, just a quick shout out to them. They're doing so well. And it is now on to the Mavericks and the Clippers. The Mavs took a 2-0 lead early on in this series, and they stole 2 games away from the Clippers in their house. And then the Clippers did the same to the Mavs. So I don't know where the series is going to end. Is it going to end in 6? Is it going to end in 7? It is incredible to see the turnaround from when the Clippers were in LA with their stupid cardboard cutouts, which, don't ever do that. Whatever you do, we are past that. It's 2021. Leave that in 2020. leave the cardboard cutouts in 2020. We're now in 2021. We're on the verge of coming out of this pandemic. If people decide to take the vaccine and decide to actually be a part of the universe, and also if Australia decides to actually roll out the vaccine enough. So yeah, that's just my rant on the cardboard cutouts, and that's just led me down a rabbit hole, which I am very, very happy to go down, but hey, that's just me. So yeah, it's heading back to the Staples Center, and then from there it's going to go back to the Mavericks, to Dallas. I don't know what that arena's name is. I should know, because I eventually want to go visit there. But then they're going to head back to there, and then hopefully we get a Game 7 out of this. It'd be incredible. Portland versus Denver is tied at 2-2. Can I just say, Portland's going to win this series. Portland is definitely going to win this series. I know I projected that it was going to be Denver, but I genuinely think that Portland's going to win this series. Dame and CJ are working so well as Carmelo Anthony. It is incredible just to see them all working together and producing amazing performances. So yeah, they're tied up at 2-2. They head back to Denver this week. They head back to Denver, then they're going to head back to Portland. So yeah, just going to see which one's which. The Jazz are up 3-1 on Memphis. Memphis stole the first game. And I was like, is Memphis going to do something that I was not expecting? And then to win the first round matchup against the number 1 seed Utah Jazz. But then the Jazz have now just gone on and demolished Memphis, and that's fun to watch as well. Now, this is a series that is giving me the biggest agita ever. The Lakers versus the Suns. I've never felt this amount of stress in my life than what's going on right now. And that's saying something, because I go through stressful situations on the daily basis because of the entirety of the world just being how it is, and not knowing where we're going to be in the next 5 years. And I like to plan, and I can't plan, and that sucks. So yeah, the Lakers and the Suns are tied at 2-2, and Anthony Davis is injured, and so CP3, and so CP3 for the Suns, and so's Kentavious Caldwell-Pope. They're injured. They're injured. And it's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a 7-game series. I understand that. But I don't know what I want. I would have loved if they could have just gone up 3-1, and then the next game wouldn't necessarily have mattered, but now it matters, and I'm going through a thing right now, and I'm sorry, but that's just what is going through my head right now. Anyway, I still think the Lakers are going to win it. Yeah. I think they're going to win the next game, and they're going to win the game after. I think they're going to win it. I'm praying that happens. Anyway, enough rambling from me about the Lakers and Suns, and how I am so worried about the Lakers and about the Lakers' quest to become back-to-back champions. Now we're going to move on to the fan issue. Fans have been obnoxious. They are. And if you notice where the fans are coming obnoxious, it's where there's been the most form of lockdown. Now, I'm not trying to equate it to anything, but what I'm saying is they've finally been allowed out of the house. For the first time in 15 months, they're allowed to allocate back to normal society, it's going to take a minute for us as fans and as people to relearn how to act in society. Like, if you go to the zoo and an animal gets out of its enclosure, it goes crazy. That's what's happening to us at the moment. We are heading out of our enclosure, and we're expecting it to be like we were before, but we're not, because we've been so isolated. We don't know how to act. We need to relearn how to act in society, and I think that is going to take a little bit of time. I think we all just need to be patient, and once we learn how to react in society, we'll be fine. We'll be all good to go. All good to go. But everyone, just take a major chill pill. It's going to be okay. We are going to do this together. Okay? So next week, I will do a round 2 of the playoffs. And I will touch on some NFL news there as well for next week. I just thought these 2 past weeks have just been so NBA focused because of the playoffs and the play-in and all that sort of stuff. And I will do some NFL news next week at the beginning, and then I'll get into round 2 of the playoffs. So that is all for this week's episode of Let's Talk Sports Podcast with me, Lucia. So I'll catch you all next week. Bye.